the financial plan for spiritual entrepreneurs. Because a lot of us spiritual people are kind of poor or in debt. So take out your piece of paper and just make a really big circle, okay? Just like this. Okay. And then I'm going to put a line right through that pie like this, cut in half. Now, it's going to say 50% on one of the halves. 50%. And that's going to be for your needs. This is non-negotiable needs. So in there, you can write rent or mortgage. So we'll just say housing. Okay. What else do we need every day? We need food. So we'll put groceries. And what else do we need? Gas or transportation, or it could be car payments if you have that kind of thing. So transportation. And then debt payments, because most of us who are spiritual entrepreneurs have debt to pay. So here we go already. We've got a nice little list here. We've got the housing, groceries, gas, and debt payments. And these are like non-negotiable. You have to pay these every month. Also in there would be like electricity or your internet or your cell phone bill. These are like all those bills that you have that you need to pay every month. And that's 50% of your income. Maybe we should have talked about that first. What is your income? So let's imagine you get $2,500 a month. Okay. And so half of that 2,500 would go towards the needs. Now you've got the next half of the pie. What's that? Well, this is fun because a lot of people think when you make a budget or whatever, a plan, that you have to like, oh, I can't buy coffee Starbucks anymore. I can't buy my wine anymore. I can't get my massages anymore or whatever. And that's not true at all. So this section, this piece of the pie is 30% of your wants. These are your fun money. This is going out to restaurants. This is getting your nails done. This is feeling non-guilty about the things that you want. Okay. And that's the thing. You might want to start looking, well, am I buying things I don't really want? Maybe I'm just buying them to keep up with the Joneses or some kind of appearance, maybe. But what do you really like to buy? Like, for example, I really like wine. So I'm going to put that on my list for sure. And I don't really care about new clothes. I just don't. Like, I'm not a big clothes person. So I can be like, oh, I can take, less money spent on clothes and shoes and put more on the things I care about. 2,500, what's 30% of that? That's pretty high. 0.3 times 2,500. That's 30%. So yeah, $750. Okay, so $750 a month goes to all whatever you want. Okay, the miscellaneous and maybe a little bit towards maybe some missed things or things that come up, like your kid needs a new pair of shoes or something like that. You could take it out of your grocery budget in the 50%, or you could just try and take it out of the wants. Okay, and then finally have our 20% little pie slice right here. I'm going to just put it as this pie slice with the red. So this red pie slice of 20% is where you start actually putting money away for the future, and then you can do stuff with it. It's if you don't have an emergency fund, if you don't have your needs met for 3 months, that's the first place you should start, is creating that emergency fund. And it's a fund so that you never have to use your credit cards again or rely on them. It's different if you're a credit card user who pays off your balance every month, then that's not a worry for you. But lots of us are not like that. We're not. Myself, I'm not disciplined enough to pay off all my credit cards at once. This is the whole reason I'm doing the plan, so I can get out of debt. But everybody's different. But you should have 20% of your month going somewhere. You could invest it. You could be saving for college fund for your kids or whatever it is for your retirement, but 20% of your money goes into that. It's really good to have a high yield savings account to start. And now I want to go back really quick to that 50% needs, because most of us have what's called debt payments, credit card. So this is something to get real about here. So we've got MasterCard. We owe $10,000 on it. and it's at 20% interest. Now we've got a Visa that we owe $3,000 on, and it's a 10% interest. Now, what you could do with this is two choices to pay this off fast. Number one, you only make your minimum payment on the MasterCard because it's the biggest balance. So you're just going to make your minimum payment, but your Visa with the 3,000 that you owe and 10%, you're gonna make extra payments. Much like let's say double of what you would normally make, is just because don't just pay the regular like minimum payment. You want to add to the principal, so you want to add as much as you can uh for that debt. You know what I'm saying? So and then you get your Visa paid off, and then all that money that you would have paid on your Visa now goes on your MasterCard, and it's called the snowball. Or you could just choose to keep the Visa at minimum payments and really attack your MasterCard of 10,000 because it's the higher interest one. It's really up to you, but sometimes people like to pay off the little one first because it makes them feel like, oh shit, I've done something. I can do this. I can do this. It gives you a little motivation. Okay, so you could do that either way, but whatever way you do it, you need to start focusing more money on the debt and getting that out of the way and never using your credit cards again. So that's the plan for spiritual entrepreneurs to become wealthy spiritual entrepreneurs. And then you can take on extra jobs to make your income come better. If you have like already a part-time job, you could negotiate for a raise. You could take overtime. If you don't have a part-time job, well, then you want to start looking at extra income. Like for example, for me, I do pet sitting besides my moon tree readings business stuff, but like extra money comes from pet sitting, from doing respite hours. But whatever is for you, like there's you could babysit, you could house sit, all sorts of things like that as extra income. It's always good to try and increase that monthly income from 2,500 to more, and then you have more to pay off the debt, because once that debt's paid off, there's a whole bunch of money freed up to invest and to really start to create wealth, right? So that's my story for today.